We're live!
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Happy post-Christmas, even though we've had a horrible couple of days here with multiple horrible things happening. And yeah, we'll discuss one of those next week because it's a little too early to start discussing that tonight because I might actually break down crying if I start discussing that tonight. So we'll discuss that next week on our Star Wars show.
And we were going we already planned our Star Wars show for next week anyway.
Yeah, so we will discuss that next week. It's just a little too fresh right now to discuss it tonight. But our thoughts and condolences do go out to her family and friends tonight.
And her poor puppy.
Yeah, her poor puppy. I'm assuming her daughter will take Gary. Because she's the who had him while she was overseas. So
I hope so.
yeah, because Gary is absolutely adorable. But tonight we're going to step into Marvel, even though Marvel isn't the big thing right now. I know Star Wars just came out, like, what, 2 weeks ago?
Something like that?
It just came out 2 weeks ago. We want to give everyone at least one more week to see it before we start discussing all things Star Wars. So we're going to talk Star Wars next week on our show on the Tuesday after New Year's. It'll be the first show of the new year because this is the last show of the worst year in the history of years.
Like, the only good thing about this year was all the geekery that we could talk about.
Yeah, literally.
Everything else was horrible. And there's the cough that I haven't coughed all day long.
Of course,
and
you're
now
talking.
that I have to talk.
My turn.
This is Dr. Strange is coming to visit.
Ooh, Doctor Strange.
Dr. Strange. Who's like, I don't believe in magic. British people always do that sort of American accent at the beginning of the movie. They're always like, I don't believe in magic.
Right? Like they're still trying to figure out how to do our weird ass accents because to them we do have accents. According to, like I said a while back, according to some people from Germany, I do not sound like every other person that lives in California.
Okay. Well, America's freaking huge. It should have different accents. But
It should, yeah.
When you're living in it, you don't hear it.
No, because like when I'm out with like my friends here, I think I sound like them. I don't really think I sound like anyone from another part of the country, but apparently I have this accent that's the Chicagoan accent. Like now that I listen to myself when I talk, I can hear the longer A's and stuff that is like synonymous with people from Chicago.
Chicago. I don't think I have an accent, but that's also because my accent has changed about 14 times depending on where I live.
You've lived a lot more places than I have. I generally lived all over the Midwest, and then I moved to the West Coast.
My favorite was when we lived in Scotland. We lived outside of Glasgow, and we couldn't understand a single word anyone said when we first moved there. But then this girl named Katie understand the words and what the slang meant and would talk slowly so that I could understand what she was saying.
Nice.
And after a couple of months, all three of us came home from school one day sounding like we were born and raised in Glasgow.
Nice.
Amazing. Like we all sounded like David Tennant when he's not trying to be understandable.
I'm like so excited for David Tennant as Scrooge McDuck. Like you have no idea. I'm so excited. Because I'm like really hoping he's not gonna try to cover most of his Scottish accent because Scrooge McDuck actually being Scottish is gonna be so freaking awesome.
I know. Like the whole cast is really good too. Like,
yeah, I'm very happy.
It's like super cool, but then also David Tennant.
Yeah.
Look, we've gone off topic already. So here's the bumper for today. Somewhere I have a black leg.
I love Barbara. I love her to death. And I'm going to be off topic for 2 more seconds here. She says, I'm going to buy a DVD player and we can watch all the Star Wars movies. Because I just posted on my Facebook, like not even an hour ago, somebody bring me a DVD player so I can watch all the Star Wars movies. Because the people I'm house sitting for, they don't own a DVD player. They don't own a Blu-ray player either. So like I can't even watch the Blu-ray version of my new Force Awakens that I got for Christmas.
That's so strange.
Mm-hmm. Speaking of strange, let's get on topic.
One more Star Wars thing on that topic. I am determined. I only own the original 3 in bootleg editions that I bought at a con that were like laser
disc,
like original edition.
Mm-hmm.
So I want to go and get all the movies, but get them twice so that I can put them in the shelf in release order and in chronological order because I can't decide which I want to do and it's driving me insane. So I'm gonna get both.
I can understand that. Mine are like stacked on the top shelf of my DVD shelf. They're actually Barbara's. I shouldn't say mine. They're just on my DVD shelf because I was the last person who watched them. And I watched them last year after Force Awakens. So,
which is so good, but that's not what we're talking about today.
I got it for Christmas. So I'm like, I want to watch them all again. And I'm probably going to bawl my fucking eyes out. Okay. Doctor Strange.
Doctor Strange.
I'm going to come clean. As a Marvel fan, I'm going to come clean and be honest. I had no clue about Doctor Strange going into this movie at all. I thought for the longest time that Doctor Strange was a villain because they never really used him as much on like the. I know, it's the goatee, exactly. But they never really used him much in the cartoons I watched. Like I watched the X-Men cartoon. There wasn't a Marvel Avengers cartoon when I was a kid, so I really didn't know much about Doctor Strange going into the movie. And unfortunately, the comic books I had access to were my older brother's, and he was not a fan of Doctor Strange. So I didn't grow up knowing Doctor Strange like I knew the X-Men and I knew the Avengers. And so Doctor Strange was a new thing for me, and I honestly wasn't that excited about it. But that being said, I would say it's one of the best movies Marvel's put out to date.
It's like I only knew a little bit more than that. I knew he was from the same time period as the Guardians of the Galaxy and had that like cosmic weirdness going on.
Yeah.
And I liked him in the Spider-Man cartoon I saw a couple years ago.
Like, no, I had an argument with
comics.
Like, I had an argument.
They did a good job making us care.
Yeah, they did. They really did. With what the short amount of time they had to work with, they really did make us care. And I really did care about his character and wanted to see him get better and be, become what he was supposed to be, which obviously is now going to be the Sorcerer Supreme.
Yeah, because like we all knew he was going to be the Sorcerer Supreme, so I'm glad they didn't mess around
that's
with
his title in the comic books. He's the Sorcerer Supreme.
Exactly. But now there's only like 4 sorcerers in the world. They're gonna have to do some major
that we know of, because at the end of the movie, they had the name. I started already. I forgot his name.
Which one?
And it's a weird name, so give me a break. No, I am not looking up Doctor Who. Thank you.
The other doctor.
Like, the actor's name is even weird. So it's not like I could have just said the actor's name because the actor's name is Mordo.
Mordo
is going evil. Yeah. According to stuff I've read since the movie, apparently he was originally evil in the comic books. So
yeah, he was a bad guy in the comics.
Yeah.
Something I was gonna say. Already losing my thoughts. But, oh, I meant to mention, I was watching, since it's Christmas time, I was watching Love Actually, and remember when Baron Mordo was best friends with Rick Grimes?
Yes. there, there was somebody posted like a Vine type video, and it was all about Negan from The Walking Dead, and my friend linked me to it, and she's like, watch this, and I watched it like 4 times before I caught on that the person in the front seat of the car was the governor. I'm like, I have actually been marathoning The Walking Dead for like the last couple weeks, and all of a sudden I'm like, I'm bored with you, Walking Dead. We're coming up on the mid-season finale from like I think last season, so I'm like, I'm gonna take a break and power through all of Game of Thrones before I go home, because I don't have HBO. So then I only have 1 season to get 2 seasons to get through, because they're doing 8 seasons,
something like that.
Yeah, so I only have 2 seasons to get through.
That's some heavy stuff to power through in bulk, though.
I'm almost done with season 1. I think I've got like 2 episodes left tonight.
I watched season 1 and season 2, and then in season 3, I just sort of promptly lost interest. There was just so much.
I managed to watch season 1 and season 2 multiple times, and then something happens when I start season 3 and I never finish. It's not a loss of interest, it's that I have to borrow the DVDs from Netflix. Like this last time, for some weird reason, they started sending the discs to me out of order.
Lame.
I know, and I'm like, well, I can't watch you if I don't have the right discs.
I will forever and always love Tyrion Lannister, though.
Yes. I love Jon Snow.
Jon Snow is very pretty.
Yeah, he's very pretty. I love Jon Snow, and I think I put the heat on too high because now I'm getting warm. Do you mind if I run and turn that down really quick?
Yeah, just go ahead.
All right, I'll be right back.
Sweltering to death. This is my new action figure from Christmas. My brother got me him, and he also got me him. He was covering all his bases. And now Dr. Strange can hang out with Kaylee and Zoe. Who else do I have there? I have Kaylee, I have Zoe, I have Sherlock. And then I have a Katie Sagal action figure.
You have a Katie Sagal?
I have a Katie Sagal action figure. I was just talking to the camera about all my action figures.
I'm guessing that's from Sons of Anarchy?
Yeah, but I never saw Sons of Anarchy. I just thought it was really, really funny to have a Katie Sagal action figure. For my birthday last year, my brother got it for me because I was just dying at the toy store.
Nice.
So, like, the box said her name is Gemma or something, but she's Katie Sagal. I have a Katie Sagal action figure, and she hangs out with Kaylee and Zoe from Firefly.
Nice.
Being taller than Sherlock because everybody is taller than this tiny little Sherlock figure I have.
I don't even know. I used to have a whole bunch of Star Wars action figures. I have no idea where they disappeared to. I have the big like Barbie doll size, maybe a little bigger. I have both old and young Obi-Wan.
Ooh.
Yeah.
I get them all about this size because one day I'm going to get a dollhouse and then I'm going to make a comic of weird collections of people just living in a house together.
Yes.
But I don't have the dollhouse yet. I just have the weirdest collection of action figures ever. Like random people from many different franchises.
Yeah.
Also, the Silk Spectre rides a camel because
just cause. That's cause. That is how we roll. Just cause.
It's true.
I have a Boba Fett. I'll have to bring. Oh, I'm gonna have to have Barbara bring him this weekend. because she's coming here to do New Year's Eve. I'm gonna have Barbara bring my Boba Fett so I can have my 1980s Boba Fett action figure and put him on screen for everyone to see.
Oh my god. I don't have any Star Wars action figures, but there's so many that I want now. Like,
I know. I feel you on
buying
that.
those Black Series ones, and the Black Series looks so good. Like,
I bought Barbara a Black Series of Cassian Andor. Yeah, I got her that for Christmas, and it was like literally the last Star Wars action figure on the shelf, like Wednesday.
I know.
And I'm like, grabs, throws in cart, like, she loves you, you're going home with me.
My favorite cinnamon roll. Spelled S-I-N.
Yes.
Cinnamon roll, because he's killed a bunch of people.
Okay, back to Doctor Strange. We gotta stop going off topic onto Star Wars. As much as we love Star Wars and want to discuss it, but we will next week. The show's gonna probably be hella long.
Next week, where it's supposed to be.
Because I have a rant about Phantom Menace, you people. You're gonna hear it.
Oh, I'm gonna cry a lot about Finn and Rey. That's my plan.
Yeah.
And Jin and Cassian, oh my god, talk about crying.
Oh my god, all the tears. I'm just gonna cry. The whole show will be just me crying. That's all you're gonna get. No. And I'm just gonna cry over Obi-Wan, okay?
I'm just gonna cry over everybody, because if there's one thing they're good at, it's bringing the feels.
They're like basically my little outer space family. That entire, like, just that entire world. I've just adopted all of them. They're all my babies.
You know, fun fact, the second Star Wars was my very first movie I ever saw. I was 11 days old, and my mom almost dropped me on my head when the Wampa jumped out.
Oh my gosh.
It was like her first time out the house after I was born. They went to see
the second
Star
one. So the third one was my first Star Wars movie because that came out in '83. I would have been just under a year old.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So it has literally always been there.
Yeah, same. Yeah. I mean, I may not have been a huge fan of it until later in life when I was like 13, 14 years old, but it was always there. We watched it when it aired on TV. You know, we didn't own it on DVD, VHS back then. Next week.
Oh,
Doctor Strange. Back on topic.
Remind me to have a conversation about my missing Jub-Jubs when we get to that.
All right, Jub-Jubs, missing Jub-Jubs. Got it. I'm gonna make a note actually right here. Got it. Okay, notes made. I will not forget to tell you about your missing Jub-Jubs. Oh my gosh.
Okay, so for the 50th
yes, Doctor Strange. So, you know, he comes off kind of as like a pretentious asshole at the beginning of the movie. And
he totally is a pretentious asshole.
Yeah, he is. I mean, like, but it was worse at the beginning of the movie before his accident. It like, I mean, he was still a douche after his accident because he's screaming at his girlfriend, not girlfriend. What the hell was she? Was she his girlfriend?
I don't know. They didn't really define it, but I think that they had been together, and by the time he had his accident, they weren't together anymore.
Okay.
That's what it seemed like to me. Or they broke up because of him being a douche nozzle after he broke his hands and got all super intense about everything.
Yeah.
I can't use my hands, Christine.
Yeah. The thing that confused me really the most about the whole movie is where it is at in the actual Marvel movie universe, because they're saying it took place during Iron Man 2, but you can see the Avengers Tower in the background. The Avengers Tower doesn't happen until after Iron Man 2.
I thought I read that it was Iron Man 3. like that year. But it covered
Yeah.
a lot of time. It covered like 2 years of space, like time.
Yeah, I wonder if that guy's updated that way yet. Let's see. Come here, bookmarks.
Look up that official timeline.
I have a Marvel Cinematic Universe timeline. Let's see where he shoved Doctor Strange. If he's even.
There was a great infographic for Phase 1 that the actual Marvel people had made, and it was gorgeous, and it had everything you needed, like all the main plot points and where they were.
Yeah.
Updated it after Phase 1, and I'm like, you're into Phase 3. Why are you not updating?
Right. Let's see.
Never. I need to know.
Iron Man. Iron Man. SSR Shield. Iron Man. Okay, here we go. Nope, that's still regular Iron Man.
I loved how this fit in though. Like
it did.
It's a totally
yeah.
new thing. It's freaking magic and demons and weird velvet painting alternate universes.
Yeah.
Somehow it worked. It's believable that this is the same world.
It is, yeah, and it made me very happy. All right, we're Thor, Hulk, Iron Man 2 still. Hulk, Thor, Hawkeye.
I'm gonna make a set of blacklight sensitive glowing nail polish, and I'm gonna call one of them Dormammu I've come to bargain.
Yes! I love it. Oh wow, okay, here we go. Phase 2, Captain America. Thor. Iron Man. Daredevil. Oh, he hasn't updated since Daredevil came out in 2014. Never mind.
Oh, dang. There's been another season of that, and Jessica Jones, and Luke Cage.
And Luke Cage. Get with the times, dude.
Several movies.
I know. That I would redo it myself, but it would I don't have that kind of patience.
Yeah, I think someone would have to pay me because it would take a while.
Yeah.
But the super clever thing the super clever thing about the way they did it is that since he can rewind time to fix the disasters, no one outside of him and his friends would know that he's been operating for 2 years by this point, if it happened during
though in I want to say Captain America 2, they did mention him. He was mentioned. When
they mentioned that there was a doctor who was.
They said Dr. Stephen Strange. He said Dr. Stephen Strange. When they abducted the Hydra guy and took him up to the roof of the building.
Yeah, but those stories were about people that hadn't yet become a thing, though. They were just people that were on the radar as heroes or villains.
Yeah. But they mentioned him, so I'm assuming that what Doctor Strange is doing in the movie took place sometime before Captain America 2.
Yeah, I don't know.
Because why would Hydra just be paying attention to some surgeon if he wasn't already doing?
Genius?
Yeah, maybe.
Why was Tony paying attention to Peter Parker before he was Spider-Man?
I can't wait for that movie. It looks amazing. It looks like it's going to be hilarious.
Oh, it looks like so much fun. It looks like
I know. I'm praying for Spider-Man to finally get a decent movie.
I've liked all the movies they've made, but when the new one comes out, the old one always pales in comparison.
Exactly. Yeah.
They're slowly improving because, I like Tobey Maguire, but I never believed that he was that smart. I never believed he was a genius. And then Andrew Garfield pulled off the genius, but didn't really pull off the nerd very well.
Right. Or the superhero part. I really failed to see him as a superhero.
That was fine. I liked the smart talking. He had such a mouth on him. It was great. And maybe this guy, Maybe this guy can do both halves properly.
Well, he did pretty good in the little bit he did in the Civil War, so.
Yeah, he was kind of the best part. Well, there
And
was
technically,
lots
people
of the
don't
best
follow us
parts.
on it. We're not off topic. We are discussing Marvel.
We are. Like, I think that Civil War, I didn't really need Iron Man versus Captain America. I just like all the stuff around that.
Yeah.
Like I freaking loved Falcon and Winter Soldier not liking each other through the entire movie.
Yeah. No, that was awesome. Can you move?
Man. No. But like those three enormous guys in that tiny car, I would have watched the whole movie just a road trip in that car.
I loved it, and then I would. I would love to have a movie of those three on a road trip. It'd be hilarious.
In a tiny car. It has to be a tiny car.
It has to be. They can't have something comfortable. It has to be all like scrunchy, big-shouldered men. All like, oh.
And at the bottom of the car is like this far off the ground because they're all 200 plus pounds of muscle.
We know Captain America is heavier than normal based on what Falcon said. We know Bucky's going to be just based off the same premises, minus the arm.
Plus, like, how freaking much does the metallic arm weigh, even if the rest of him was normal?
I know, right? You know he has to be, super soldiered somewhat.
Yeah, like he was the result of an attempt to duplicate the program, wasn't he?
Yeah, he had a bastardization of the super soldier serum.
Yeah, because they'd already killed the guy who invented it, who was the only one who could make it work right.
Right.
And then Hulk also was a bastardization before
yes,
we even met
Captain America. He was, because that was an attempt to recreate it by Bruce Banner, and obviously a massive failure.
I feel like Bruce and Steve should be pals just because of that. Like,
I agree, yeah.
Have that as a bonding experience.
They should, I agree.
That's why we need smaller movies again. That's one of the things I liked about this. It didn't have all the other Avengers in it because they haven't met him yet. So it was just him dealing with his own shit. And we don't have that with the main Avengers anymore. There's always like 9 people that are Captain America or Iron Man or whatever. Like,
yeah.
That's why I liked Iron Man 3 too, because it was just
just Tony, yeah. With the kid, the awesomely adorable kid.
With the awesome kid. And all the emotional fallout after Avengers.
Yeah. And he's like the only one who like really got to deal with the emotional fallout of Avengers, because, Steve just went on doing what he did for the fighting the good fight, and so did Natasha and
well, Nat and Clint never got anything because they don't even have their own movie yet, even one together.
They need one.
They need one. And
I just personally myself need a Hawkeye movie for Jeremy Renner's sake, because he wants a Hawkeye movie.
Oh, and like
he's like, it's not fair. Everyone else has gotten a movie. Bruce is getting a movie.
Do it with the Matt Fraction one where he's like clinically depressed but still does his job and is super snarky. Like that's the one we need.
Yes. Honestly, like the most we've gotten out of Hawkeye was Civil War.
Yeah.
That's like the most we've gotten out of him.
Because every time else he's either mind controlled or he's in like 0.2% of the movie.
Right.
Because it's someone else's movie.
Yeah. Because like the last Avengers movie, he's like, I'm retiring now. And then he shows up the last 5 minutes anyways.
Yeah, right. But like also, like some of the other problems could be dealt with by them spreading out who gets movies. Like the whole Sharon Carter thing would have been more believable if Cap had a movie that was just himself. or just him and
Yeah,
Bucky.
exactly. But it just went
to develop that relationship.
Mm-hmm. But they didn't, and it was awkward and weird, and I didn't like it.
And it was like straight after your aunt's funeral, who was my one true love, we're making out.
Right? Oh, I mean, you're my one true love just died. I'm gonna make out with you now, and I'm just like,
you're kind of the same. I mean, you're related,
right?
Because I like that lady, and she does a good job with the character with what she's given, but she's given almost nothing.
Yeah.
There's like no story for her.
No, there isn't. And it's like, that's why it's so hard to like her. It's like, oh, she helped fight against the bad guys in Winter Soldier. And, oh, well, she just helped us get our uniforms back here in Civil War. I'm going to make out with you now. Oh, wait. You're Peggy's niece? Oh, wait.
But like,
what was she?
I think she was the niece.
Okay.
But like they made out randomly out of nowhere right in front of the two guys that he could have been in a relationship with because of the way that the relationships are done on this movie. I just knocked over my notebook stack under my desk and like everything is falling on my feet.
Awesome job.
Yeah, I'm like super swift. You can't even understand how swift I am. I'm like the most swift.
Yeah.
Reaching for my notes and knocked over everything.
Sorry.
First note is actually so pretty, OMG. Like, this movie was great. Like,
it was, though. I really enjoyed it because it really did feel like an introduction movie to a character where, you know, you got to know the character again, like we did with the original Iron Man, where we got with the original Thor, with the original Captain America, despite that being such a yawn fest of a movie.
But yeah, it was an intro, but it wasn't only an intro. It like actually kicked off the whole story, which was great, and it had a story.
Yeah.
Even if it was kind of a fast clip, but they handled it really well despite that.
Yes.
I will say another half hour personally.
Like my favorite scene was literally with him going back to the bad guy, the big crazy space villain.
Dormammu.
Thank you. I couldn't remember his name. You know me and my names. But it was like, I've come to make a bargain. What are you doing?
Yes, like she had him so confused. This giant space demon. It was great.
I loved it.
Just kept coming back and coming back and coming back. That was like a brilliant use of time travel. He made it a trap. You have to negotiate.
You have to negotiate, or I'm
going to be stuck in this time bubble forever.
Time loop. It was a time loop.
Even superheroes want to be time travelers this year.
Oh, time travel is the way to go this year, folks. You know, let's go back in time and save some people.
Reese is watching Supernatural over there, and it was super loud when something was getting destroyed.
Oh, he's like,
yeah.
Speaking of time travel, I'm going to go off topic really quick because we had some confirmation this week from Terry about 12 Monkeys.
Yeah.
We do not have to wait till July. It will be out sooner. That's all I have.
I was so excited when I saw his tiny little comment.
I know, he's like, sooner. And I'm like,
it is unfair how he can say like 3 words and totally change my mood for the entire day, though.
Right? Because there's like just nothing but that show. That show is my lifeblood, literally.
Right. After that confirmation that it was going to be earlier, I was like, my birthday is at the end of May. Just.
Well, last year it came out like right around my birthday. So I was like, this is my early birthday present.
Yeah, it came out in April because everything shut down in May. So there was like 4 weeks where it was in competition with everybody's finales.
Mm-hmm. So I'm wondering if like maybe he's gonna push it back maybe like June or beginning of May.
Mid-May would be good probably, or the end of May, like on my birthday.
For everything will be over.
If it comes out Memorial Day weekend, I am going to claim it as my own personal birthday gift from the cast and crew and channel.
Yes.
And no one can stop me or convince me otherwise if it comes out that weekend.
Oh, excuse me.
Not even them. Even if they say it was coincidence, I'm not going to believe it.
That's what I do. I was looking something up really quick because I wanted to see something. Oh, I love you how much your price has gone down. Thank you.
We really need to get, one of us needs to get the Alexa so that we can just look things up while we're talking.
Do that on the tablet, but I keep forgetting that I can do that on the tablet because I can just go, okay, Google. Oh, you're gonna just not do it now, aren't you?
Got stage right now.
Yeah, I know. Okay, Google. Shy. 12 Monkeys season 2. It's just taking its time. It's trying to recognize what I said. All right, we're gonna cancel that because it's taking recognizing tablet, please. What?
Google is usually better and faster than that. Like
I have a very low
Siri can't understand
on the tablet right now. Like I have like 2 bars on the tablet right now, so that's probably why it's running so slow.
Oh man.
What else?
There's a bunch of people joining that show next week. We've got James Callis, who was just announced.
Yeah, I'm excited about that. I'm like, ooh, I love him. I love everything to do with Battlestar Galactica.
I wonder if he's happy to be back on Sci-Fi, because like he was part of their last really big, awesome science fiction thing, and now he's coming back into the Renaissance.
Yeah, it's like, oh, look, we're re-emerging as a sci-fi channel again. Let's bring in some of our past, you know.
They're just getting so many people. Like, every minute they're announcing somebody.
Yeah, I know. It makes me happy. I love it. I love how interactive our cast is. Our cast and the creators and the writers. I just love them to death. You guys are amazing. If you're listening to this, which I doubt you are, but you never know.
There's one viewer. It could be somebody.
Yeah.
I mean, it's probably whoever is our usual one viewer, but
I have no idea who our one viewer is ever.
Hello, one
Because like
viewer.
once it was like it was an actual friend of mine, but he hasn't watched since.
Lame.
I know, he's a lame.
Support your friends, dude.
Dude, right?
Dude. Oh yeah.
Somebody has a fireplace going somewhere close by, and it's like I opened a window because it got too warm in here with the heat on, and now I'm cold again. But whatever, I'll survive. But I don't know. I know there was a lot of controversy with Tilda Swinton playing the Sorcerer Supreme, but I actually think she did a really good job.
And I knew she would do a good job because she's Tilda Swinton.
Yeah,
but I get what people are saying, but as a whole, there was almost no like whitewashing except for her. Everybody else was.
Well, technically, they did try to claim that Doctor Strange was whitewashed because he was supposed to be of Egyptian descent.
I didn't know that in the. I know that
That's
the
what
character
Barbara
was,
told me, so I don't know.
the
I
character.
argued on Facebook. He looks
The
white to
character
me.
was based on someone who was not white, but usually in the comics he's white.
Yeah.
And it is annoying that Benedict Cumberbatch, who I love so much, keeps playing characters who are not supposed to be white and being British.
Yeah.
But because he did the same thing with Khan.
Mm-hmm. Khan was definitely Asian.
But there was other people. There was, what's his name? Chang? Was it Chang?
Yeah. Chang.
Wong? Wong.
Chong?
I sound terrible.
I don't know.
And there was Mordo. And one of the bad guys was
Mads Mikkelsen.
Mads Mikkelsen, but like the lady that kept standing behind him with the big staff.
Yeah.
Was Minoru, who is Japanese and the mother of one of the Runaways, which makes me very happy because I freaking love the Runaways and I want that to be a movie.
Yes, that would be awesome.
Her mom just got sucked into the dark dimension, so how's that going to happen for her?
I don't know, unless she's already born, obviously.
Well, yeah, if it was going to be soon, she would have to already be a teenager.
Yeah.
Maybe it could start when she finds out that her mother got sucked into the dark dimension and didn't just disappear. And that's when she finds out her mom was a villain.
Yeah, my mama was a villain. I'm going to be a good guy.
And then they run away with their dinosaur and their time travel. And their alien powers. I freaking love the Cloak of Levitation.
Yes, I love that. It was adorable.
I had no idea until that one ad that it was going to have any personality at all. Right. And I'm so glad that it was a fun personality. Not
just like stupid.
Yeah. And because like he was so freaking serious about so much.
Everything.
And everybody else around him was even more serious about all of this stuff. And then the Cloak is just like, nah.
Right? And it's like, I'm going to have fun over here. Woo!
He's going to like drag him around to get him where he's supposed to go.
Yes. I absolutely love that every time it cuts to you, all I see is Doctor Strange staring at me down here in the corner.
Look at that serious face. Look at that serious face. Like the cloak comes off. I could totally give like other characters the cloak.
Nice.
But I don't think he stands up on his own. So like
without the cloak, yeah.
You got to be like this in the cloak to stand up. More accurate because in the comics he's got like this huge, ridiculous, like Gallifreyan collar.
Right. Is he one of the doctors? The Gallifreyans, Time Lords? That's what he is. He's a Time Lord.
He could totally. Well, he did control time.
That's true.
By going like this. Like going like this. What other notes do I have?
I have like no notes. I am like basically going on what I can remember from the movie because like it's hard to take notes in a movie theater.
It's true.
And like I saw that movie like right when it came out, and so.
Yeah, me too. That the girlfriend Christine, I really hope that she meets. I really hope she meets up with Claire from Daredevil and etc.
Yeah,
because they are literally doing the same job. Like I want them to work at the same hospital.
Exactly, they need to. It would make sense.
And it would be awesome if they were both like being slightly shifty about had.
Right. I can't tell you about the superhero I'm helping. I can't tell you that.
Can I ask you a hypothetical question about a really weird case that is totally not real, but I wondered what you thought about it. Apparently, Claire in the comics is part of like 3 nurses that go by night nurse. So
yeah,
you could have 2 of them already if they put Christine in that.
Yeah, they could.
We've got the physical doctor, the magical doctor, and then we just need a superpower doctor, and there you go.
Yep, there you go. Well, Bruce technically would be the superpower doctor.
But he's not a night nurse.
No, he's not, but he would be.
He's one of the superheroes. I would totally watch a show that was just Claire and Christine patching up superheroes, like
yes,
ER, but
like
with powers.
Superhero ER.
It would be great. Netflix would be awesome.
It would be. Do it. Marvel, cash in on our idea. Don't. Pay us if you cash in on our idea, because we could use some money over here.
It's true. We'll even develop it. We'll come up with plots. We'll
write characters. Scripts. I used to write scripts like years ago. I could do it again.
I've written a few too.
I wrote fan fiction.
All of us write fan fiction.
I don't think there's one of us that doesn't.
Out of the 2 of us, no, there's not. Maybe our one viewer also writes fan fiction, and then all of us write fan fiction.
Yes. But we'll discuss writing things in 2 weeks.
In 2 weeks.
Yes, because that'll be after I go home.
I really like that all of this was hard for him. Like, it's not just that he had trouble believing that it was real.
Right.
It was probably the first thing in his life that he wasn't automatically good at.
And he wasn't in complete control.
Exactly. And he was such a snot at the beginning of the movie that it was great watching him knock down a peg or 7.
It was.
Like, he needed it, and it was good for him, and he handled it well considering his personality.
And he did, and like his little freak out, and then they threw him out, and he's laying there on the ground. Please let me back in.
And he didn't give up even in that. He stayed for an entire day crying on the porch like a lost puppy.
I loved it. It was very fitting. It was a very well done story, and I really enjoyed it a lot.
I did too. Like, I wasn't expecting it to be as much fun as it was. The commercials made it look like it was deadly serious. They probably could have pulled off if they wanted to, but they didn't.
They put enough humor into it to make it enjoyable. And I have to give Benedict Cumberbatch props, because everything I've seen him do has been very serious roles. I've never seen him take on anything comedic at all, and he did really well.
I think he's sort of a snarky, goofy sort of a person himself. Yeah. And just let him do some of that as a part. It was so much fun.
It was. I really did like it.
And I love that he had to study.
Yes.
As someone who...
They didn't just like, this is how you do it overnight, I can do it. I would have been so angry if they had skipped him having to learn how to do this stuff.
I know, but like, as someone who is only ever comfortable when I'm in school, it's like, it's the best thing. He's the most bookish superhero we've had yet.
I love it. It made me happy. We have a nerdy superhero, minus Bruce.
Bruce is nerdy, but he's not
contemporary.
He wasn't learning. Yeah, he wasn't learning any of it. He wasn't in the middle of the books and the studying and all of that.
Yeah. And then while Tony's a nerd, he's that rock star nerd that's like cool. You know, he wasn't the I'm learning because I can type of person.
Yeah, like they talk about Tony learning stuff overnight, but we never see it.
Yeah.
But man, I cannot wait until the Fancy Goatee Club. Because because they're both so arrogant and so sure of themselves. Different. Like one is totally physical world and one is totally not physical world.
Yeah. I'm actually like really, really excited because it looks like we're going to get interactions between Doctor Strange and Loki in the Thor movie.
I know.
I'm like super excited about that.
That whole little in credit scene was the best thing ever.
It was okay. I commented to Barbara like later on after watching that end credit scene. I can talk, I promise. And I just like commented to her, did it look like to you that Thor was just a lot skinnier?
Yeah, he had not built up his Thor bulk yet.
Like he didn't build up his Thor bulk before he filmed that end credit scene.
He also didn't have his big metal shoulder pads on though.
So we'll see how he looks in Ragnarok in. I should just leave Internet Movie Database open. Why do I keep closing it? Because I'm stupid.
You can probably just like get a page that has the release dates.
Okay. Yeah, I used to actually have. This actually makes me laugh really hard. I pulled up Thor Ragnarok. It's comes out in November of next year. The stars listed are Benedict Cumberbatch, Kate Blanchett, and Idris Elba. How in the hell are they bigger names than Chris Hemsworth and Tom Hiddleston?
The ones who are the main characters.
Right? Like, oh my God, Thor and Loki are listed under Anthony Hopkins. Which is 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. They're the 6th and 7th people on their list. Bruce is like the 10th.
So don't miss out.
Google lists the Marvel movie calendar, the most immediate, as Spider-Man in July, Thor in November, Black Panther in February, Infinity War in May.
Yeah.
Man in July, Captain Marvel the next March, Infinity War in May again. So for the next 3 years, that's how many. There's a lot in 2018. There's like 3 of them.
Yeah. Well, there's 3 this year too, isn't there? Thor.
This just says Spider-Man and Thor.
Mm.
And then Black Panther, Infinity War, and Ant-Man after. But that doesn't list a November one.
Yeah.
There's usually November one too. So there might be 4.
That's weird. You know, usually how Netflix does that. Interesting. Sorry, somebody just accepted my friend's request on Facebook, Travis Rankin, and I'm like, I swear to God, I was friends with you already.
For friends,
you know, usually movies like they list like movies that they follow and stuff. You would think they'd have all the Marvel movies listed, but they don't.
Well, sometimes they get a little squirrely about what they're going to put out.
Yeah.
At any time, and they rearrange stuff all the time. They had to move stuff around to get in Spider-Man and to get in Doctor.
Yeah. That's what we're getting. That's the 3rd movie we're getting in 2017.
This one is saying
Guardians
that it's in February 18th.
Guardians of the Galaxy 2. It's coming out in May. I knew there was a 3rd one.
Yeah, that's my birthday movie next year.
Yeah. I was like, I knew there was a 3rd one because I've seen promos for it.
There is going to be so much fun. It's got like every good black actor ever right now in it.
I know. I'm excited for Black Panther.
two faves. It's
Honestly, I'm excited for like all the movies.
I'm excited for the entire franchise, and if they wind up overdoing it and putting out too many movies and they can't make their money back, I'm actually excited for movies to get smaller and cost less, because then there'll be less people in them and the story can be more about the people.
Well, the last I heard is the last movies that Robert Downey Jr. is gonna be doing is the Infinity War movies. That's the last ones he's signed on for.
Yeah, they're
So
saying
unless
that after Infinity War, the original.
Yeah.
They're saying basically that after Infinity War, the original Avengers won't be around anymore.
Yeah, which is sad because I want to watch Mark Ruffalo be Bruce Banner forever, because I love Mark Ruffalo. I love that man so much.
I know.
Like since I was 13, dude. Since I was 13. I've loved Mark Ruffalo longer than I've loved Aaron Stanford.
That is. Says the person who lost track of Aaron Stanford for at least 10 years in between things.
I didn't. I lie. I lost track of him when he was on Nikita. I never knew he was on Nikita until I went and watched it on Netflix.
I didn't see anything of his between and 12 Monkeys, and then went back to Nikita.
We have Logan coming out next year too. So we have actually 4 Marvel movies next year.
That's the other franchise, though.
But it's still Marvel. It is still Marvel.
It's still Marvel. It looks like it's going to be a wildly different sort of comic book movie.
I know. I'm excited.
If it has the same tone as the ad, which made me cry the second they started playing Hurt.
I know. Ugly crying.
Oh my god. The very first time I saw that trailer, it was just like some desolate opening shot, and it just is like boom, 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 and I was like, shit!
Tears!
Just like that. And I was like, they're going straight for my poor little squishy heart. Like,
because that song gets my heart so bad sometimes.
It gets me in the 9 Inch Nails version, and then when it turns out to be the Johnny Cash version, it's even more sad.
Yeah.
And it's so tragic. And then they show Logan all old, and Professor Xavier is like 117 or whatever.
Shit, right? And we're getting X-23. We're getting X-23.
That's exciting.
That's very exciting.
And I love that Logan or Wolverine, this Wolverine is going out.
As they
his random friendships with young girls. like he started out making friends with Rogue, and he's going out making friends with X-23.
His technical daughter.
Whether they put that in the movie or not.
Right. We do think that his son is in the movie. A lot of us think that his son is in the movie, unless they changed X-23's claws.
I don't know. I have not been looking into it on purpose because it makes me sad just looking at the trailer.
I feel you on that.
So I'm not sure what or whatever.
Yeah.
But what I've seen looks amazing.
It does, yeah.
And if it changes the whole tone of the X-Men movies to something more personal, I'm totally
down for
it with that.
Yes.
I'm totally all right with that.
But the way I look at it, it seems like Logan takes place way at the end of the storyline. Where we're left off in the X-Men universe. We're back in I believe the 90s is when our next X-Men movie is supposed to take place.
Well, they're going decade by decade.
Yeah.
And this is like in the future. He's the only X-Man left.
Yeah.
In the comics, it was like in around the time of or something, or not the Age of Apocalypse.
Yeah.
Maybe the Age of Apocalypse?
I don't know. Is there going to be another X-Men movie? It apparently isn't on Internet Movie Database.
I don't know. They've been talking about it, whether they've actually officially announced it or not.
Yeah.
They've closed up the original storyline, but I know that they're going to do more Deadpool, and they're talking about X-Force.
Yeah. Yeah, because they have Deadpool 2 listed as coming out in 2018.
And there's talk of X-Force.
Yeah, I'm seeing that.
A comic of the X universe that I've never read. Like, I've read X Factor, I've read New Mutants, I've read X-Men, Uncanny X-Men, Generation X. Kill for an Excalibur or Generation X movie.
Yes.
Like, give me that shit.
They're talking New Mutants. Apparently, the Gambit movie is still up.
It got delayed again, I think.
Yeah. This one falls into the may still happen, but no clue when category.
I would be super happy for Excalibur though, because they've brought in Kitty Pryde and Nightcrawler twice.
Yeah.
And Generation X would give Jubilee some sort of lines that couldn't be cut because she's a main character.
Yeah, they really kind of pushed Jubilee as like she was going to be a main character in Apocalypse, and she totally could have been, and it pissed me off that she wasn't.
She got so edited. Like, she was in all the ads.
Yeah, she seriously got
off to the side in a lot of the movie. But I want the Jubilee cut, like the way they have the Rogue cut of the other movie.
No, I will never watch the Rogue cut.
I want Jubilee back in.
I will never watch the Rogue cut of that movie. Nope.
But it has Ashmore back in.
Yeah, only for like 15 extra minutes.
I know, it's a ploy to make you buy more DVDs, but come on.
No, I think I don't even own Apocalypse, to be honest. That's like the only X-Men movie I don't own now, because I have all the original trilogy. I have First Class, I have Days of Future Past, I have all the Logan movies now, because Barbara got me Wolverine at Christmas. Yeah, Apocalypse is the only one I don't own.
I have the original and I have First Class. I haven't bought the other ones yet.
I have all of them. I literally, though, I was like I watched my X2 to death.
My my movie collection is spotty because my roommate would buy all those, but when we stopped living together, he took them all because they were his, and I haven't quite filled in the gaps yet.
Right. I have 2 copies of X-Men Origins Wolverine if you want one.
Do I have that one? I don't even know if that's one of the ones I have.
Just so people know, the only reason I have that is because I have an obsessive love for Liv Schreiber.
I had, at one point, I had 3 copies of Hellboy because they were different editions.
Yeah.
Like, Hellboy is probably my favorite superhero movie, even accounting for my love of Marvel movies. That first one, that Hellboy, that is a really good movie.
Yeah, I actually finally saw it like about a year after I left my ex. I apparently accidentally stole his copy of it. I don't know. I just took all the DVDs and some of them were his. Oops.
Oops.
Hey, I could have taken his Wii with me too. I could have taken it. It was right there. I could have taken it.
Just throw it all in the same box.
Right? I forgot who bought the Wii. I thought I bought it when I bought the Xbox. I'm kidding. I'm not that big of a thief. A couple of DVDs are easy to replace. I would never take something worth that much money.
No. I have trouble spending that much money, let alone taking it. Somewhere in one of my notebooks, I have a list of all the movies that have come out with little checks by the ones that I have, and I'm like, I'll just keep this so that I remember which ones I have whenever I see a $5 deal.
Yeah, yeah.
Then
Oh
I
my
never
God! Do you know
remember.
what the absolute hardest movie was to find this Christmas?
Hmm.
To buy for somebody? Die Hard.
It seems to have had some sort of resurgence in popularity recently.
Oh yeah, all of a sudden, and I thought I was gonna be able to like just walk into Walmart and find it for $5. It didn't have it at Walmart. They didn't have it at Target. I finally checked at Best Buy on Friday, and I found all 4 movies for $20.
Sweet.
So I'm like, yoink, this is mine. I didn't
It's
shove it.
technically a Christmas movie.
Yeah, it is technically
It's a movie
Christmas
that happens at
the first 2 at
Christmas.
least. The first 2 at least. The second 2, I've never seen the third one, but the second one I know happens in the middle of the summer.
Yeah. I think I've seen them all, but I'm not sure. I've rewatched the first one recently.
Yeah, well now we own them.
I don't remember
so
when
I'm
I
sure
last
I'll
saw
sit
them.
down and watch all 4 of them at some point.
Watch all 78 of them.
Yeah, all 78 of them.
Dire harder. More dying, more hard. Too hard, too dying.
Actually, it's really funny. If you look up the 4th movie in that series, Aaron Stanford is listed for it. Hold on, I'm pulling it up right now. I'm not even kidding. He's listed for it, but he is not in it.
And people are just adding his name to IMDb now?
What I think happened is he actually has a movie that goes by the same title.
It could be.
I think he did. I'm trying to pull him up now. Come on, give me Aaron Stanford. Thank you. I think this would be easier as often as.
I actually have an IMDb page because one of the projects I worked on, and it says that I worked on something I didn't work on because it had the same title. So that does happen.
Yeah, he was in a movie called Live Free or Die. The 4th Die Hard movie is called Live Free or Die Hard. But for the longest time, he was listed on the Die Hard movie as being in it. But he wasn't. But it's not there. It has since been fixed.
Oh, that would have been fun though.
Yeah. I would have been down for him being like John McClane's son, because I think that's who they had him listed as, John McClane's son or something.
It would be fun because they're both Cole.
Yeah. Yeah.
Two alternate reality selves.
Yep. Anything else we want to talk about with Doctor Strange?
I think I covered all of my notes.
Yeah, and I've covered everything I can remember.
The Eye of Agamotto is another Infinity Stone.
Yes, we found another one of our Infinity Stones.
X5?
Yeah, I think we got one in Thor.
Yeah, we got the red
Guardians.
one. The yellow one is the one that was inside the Tesseract, or no, it was the one that was inside the staff. The Tesseract.
Yeah,
then
we got the one in the staff. Then we got the one in Doctor Strange. How many stones have we found? Let's just Google that.
The purple one, the blue one, the yellow one, and the red one. And we need. Is there 6 or is there 5?
Have been found. Let's see how many have been found so far. There are 6 Infinity Stones and 6 letters in Thanos' name. The alternate names for each stone so far are. Let's actually make that a bigger window so I can actually read it.
That might be useful.
There are spoilers ahead. Okay.
Yes, we know. We're looking for that.
Now, so there's chemical connection. Okay, the stones we have found. So, okay, so what are the 6 stones and where have I seen them before? We found the Tesseract, the space stone, the Aether, the reality stone, the Orb, the power stone. Tesseract was in Avengers, Aether was in Thor 2, the Orb was in Guardians of the Galaxy, Loki's Scepter, the slash Vision is the Mind Stone, that was in Avengers 2. And we have yet to see the Soul Stone, and we found the Time Stone in Doctor Strange. So we don't know where the Soul Stone is going to show up at.
Yeah. It's going to be super interesting when Thanos comes for the Mind Stone, since it's literally part of Vision's body.
Yeah, that's going to be kind of sad, because I have a feeling if Thanos takes it, that means Vision's going to die.
Yeah, they're going to have to find a way around that that's really awesome, or it's going to be a major character death and I'm going to cry because I freaking love Vision.
Yeah, and they're already kind of hinting at the Vision and Wanda pairing, so...
Well, they're one of the epic ongoing ones in the comics. They had kids and everything, despite him being a robot.
Yeah, no, she created kids. And then they all died when she erased mutants. Or no, they died and then she erased all mutants.
Yeah, that's why she snapped, because she figured out her kids were not real or something. But
yeah,
the thing that I wish they would do in the movies with her is get to the fact that her powers are probability based. Like she's a fancy telekinetic.
Yeah.
In the comics, she causes weird, improbable stuff to happen, and I wish they would do that more in the movies, because they could go
agreed
with some of the side effects of her powers.
Now there have been rumors going around that he is her brother will be back in the Infinity Wars, so they may touch on that in one of the 4 movies we're getting this year. Well, 2 of those are out because one takes place out in outer space, and the other one is in a completely different franchise. So
that narrows it down.
Yeah, so maybe we'll see something in Thor 2 or 3. Sorry, this is Thor 3 now, isn't it? Or we'll see something in Spider-Man.
Maybe can come around to Wanda turning out to be magical, not a mutant.
Yeah. Well, so they're not mutants. You have to remember that. They are not mutants in the Marvel Disney franchise.
No, they're not mutants. But basically they're mutants.
Basically, they are mutants.
Her and Quicksilver are genetically altered by Nazi arcane science.
Right?
But it basically made them into mutants. It developed powers in them. But they never said that those powers couldn't be magical powers. They just didn't know that magic existed until this movie.
Yeah.
Maybe Doctor Strange will meet her and go, "Hey, you're an untrained wizard."
Yeah, that would be cool. I'd be down for that.
You're a wizard, Wanda.
You're a wizard, Wanda.
That would actually be super awesome, because their power would look really pretty next to each other, since his is green and hers is red.
Yeah.
It'd be very festive.
Her power, when she does use the magical part of her powers, it is very similar to what he does.
Yeah, with the hands and stuff. She just doesn't have the formal training. It would be a perfectly
So she is not
storyline.
listed for any Marvel movies until Avengers Infinity Wars, but we know what that means. It doesn't mean anything. She could be in a cut scene after the credits.
Yeah, or she could be in a part that's so small that nobody knows it's there yet.
Yeah.
Because they tend to have like as many heroes as possible in the movies lately.
Right.
And some of them are just standing around because literally that's all there's space for.
Right? I'm just going to stand over here in the corner. Though I will admit they did a really good job with it on Civil War during the fight scene. Nobody really got forgotten during the fight scene.
Yeah, that was a super balanced fight scene. I think that was probably the best one since the invasion fight scene in Avengers.
Mm-hmm.
Like in Avengers, they did a fantastic job of following one person's attack to get to another person's attack to get to the other person's attack.
And they really kind of did that in Civil War. So I was like, thank you for not letting Joss Whedon handle this, because Joss Whedon, you failed.
He needs to redeem himself.
He really does, and I'm glad he's not touching any more Marvel movies, because he can go redeem himself somewhere else.
He wants to, but so far he wants to do Black Widow, but so far that's not actually being made.
I don't want him touching Natasha anymore. He ruined her in Ultron.
You know, the way he talks about it, I feel like a hell of a lot more of her story got filmed, and it makes more sense before editing.
Yeah, it's possible, but you know,
like we talked about it when the movie came out, but an hour longer, I feel like it would make more sense for all the side stories.
Yeah.
The 4.5 days of Ultron.
The 4.5 days of Ultron, right? Literally, that bugged me the most about that one is how quickly they flew from one side of the world to the other, and how quickly they fought Ultron. I'm like, he's supposed to be this monstrous creature who's bent on ruling the world and destroying it with this great big meteorite, and I'm like, oh, 4 days later, we're fine.
Yeah, like Sokovia's not, but everything else is fine.
Sokovia's gone. Sorry.
But like, yeah, it was really fast between Ultron accidentally getting created and Ultron being defeated.
Yeah. And then it was like the whole Thor storyline, because there were like scenes in the previews of when he went in that cave.
When they do that.
Yeah, and he was in the cave and he saw visions, and both Tom Hiddleston and Idris Elba said they filmed scenes for Age of Ultron.
Yeah.
And they were cut.
I think the only thing that survived of Loki being in it was somebody walks in front of him during that dream sequence.
With the hood up, yeah.
With the hood up. That seems to be the body language of Tom Hiddleston.
Yeah.
But could be anybody.
Because, like, if they don't explain how Thor figured out Loki was pretending to be Odin, I'm going to be, like, really upset. They need to give that to us.
Yeah. Really upfront in that next movie, because if they're working together, we need to see the part where he goes, "Wait a minute, you're not dead," and gets mad and then deals with it.
Yes, please give this to us, Marvel. I need it. You have till November to give me it. You have a year.
Right? I think that the problem with Marvel movies is that they insist on having villains. Like, I know that they're superhero movies, classic thing, but aside from Loki, the villains have all been lame. Like, most of the villain stuff gets cut, so they wind up being like super flat. They had Christopher Eccleston, who is fantastic and was acting his damn butt off.
God, I know. I was so pissed with how much of him got cut out of that movie.
I know. Like, what was left was good enough, I guess, but Malekith was not great. Movie was not great, even though he was Mads Mikkelsen.
Yeah. I don't know. It's just like they try to make the villains look all badass at the beginning of the movie, and then they just make them weak at the end. Like, oh, I defeated you by making a deal with the big bad up in the sky.
I think that the difference is that Loki was introduced early. Like,
Loki's had
he was a character before he was a villain.
Built on. You know, he had the original Thor, and then he had Avengers, and then he had Thor 2, and now he's going to be in Thor Ragnarok.
Yeah, like, he was already a character before he was a villain. and we saw him becoming a villain, and we understood him because of that, and he kept his characterness.
Yeah, exactly.
And like a couple of scenes of somebody going through that transition, it sets up the character, but it doesn't really build a character.
You don't get attached to the character like we have with Loki.
I think that they should, like, everything is carefully planned, so why not bring in the next villain early? Why not have them there already? They've sort of done that with this movie with Mordo, because he was a friend through this one, and he was a character at the end. So when he comes back as a villain, we'll already know who he is, and we'll know why he's doing it.
Right, exactly.
So apparently only magical villains get backstory.
Yay, only magical villains get backstory. Well, technically Ultron got a backstory, even though it was rushed greatly and Tony's a fucking moron.
See what happens when Pepper's not around?
Right? Pepper, where the hell have you been for 2 movies?
Pepper's not around, and he accidentally kills Jarvis and creates Ultron.
It's my heart.
These Civil Wars.
And they're all his fault. I'm sorry, Tony. You might be feeling bad for shit that happened while you were saving the world, but that does not mean everybody else has to answer for how you're feeling.
I know. They need to. I would actually really like to see. I would really like to see Civil War from the other side, where Tony is the main character.
That would have been interesting, because for a long time they talked about there being 2 Civil War movies, and I thought that's how they were going to try to do it, and then it got mushed down into 1 movie.
Because the way we got it, obviously right, and Tony comes across as short-sighted and stupid.
Right.
Like, he's doing all this because he's scared he's going to lose his girlfriend, and he feels bad about some stuff. But, like, we're not really getting Tony's point of view because it's Cap's movie, and Cap is right.
Right, exactly. What am I looking up? I was going to look something up, but I forgot what I was going to look up, so. Oh, well.
I don't know. That stack of books behind me is getting wobbly looking.
So I think we've covered everything we can about Doctor Strange, and I'm gonna try to kind of wrap the show here because I think the computer is about to be a douchebag. And I'm trying to get the tablet up. See, where's Twitter on the tablet? Twitter's over here. Because everything is froze, but this window right now. So I'm trying.
We talked literally about the entire MCU, so I think we're good.
We really did. The Doctor Strange show kind of turned into the MCU show, which is fine. That's all good.
That's fine. I'll just change the title when I finalize the video in a little bit.
Because we talked Doctor Strange, but then we just kind of went into the whole universe, which is not a bad segue. We did good. I have not edited those 2 videos. It's so connected. Yeah.
That's
I know,
fine.
I'm still connected, but everything else is froze. It's hilarious. But, all right, so we will be back next Tuesday. We are going to discuss Star Wars. Prepare for crying, because I cannot guarantee I will not cry next Tuesday.
There was nothing but feels before today's news, so it's only going to get worse. And there she goes. There she goes. But like she said, we're going to be back next week for our Star Wars show, which will be our first show of the year. And then the week after that, we're going to talk about books and writing, which should be fun because we're not going to have a show about how awesome you are. But since we tend to veer off into writing and books anyway, that should be easy. And then maybe after that, our shows start coming back. I'm about to make my schedule for January in the next couple days, and then we'll know and we'll plan that out. So we'll see you all later.
I'm back.
She's back.
That worked. Actually, I managed to get the tablet up really quick. Okay, so yeah, next week we're going to talk Star Wars. There's going to be a lot of feels. Bring your tissues because I'm going to need them. And we may have a co-host because she might join us. We'll see how she's feeling after work because today after work she had a flat tire. So yeah, so we'll see how she's feeling next Tuesday after work. Yeah, that's. I think we covered. We'll see you guys next Tuesday. We're going to go to a galaxy far, far away.
It's true.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Good. I can't